And today we'll be analyzing the underlying messages and themes of Those Winter Sundays by Robert Hayden. Sundays, too, my father got up early and put his clothes on in the blue-black cold. Then, with cracked hands that ached from labor in the weekday weather made baked fires blaze, no one ever thanked him. In the beginning of Hayden's glum poem, we find a father working thanklessly for his son, getting up before dawn to make and tend for his son and him. Even after a week of labor that has cracked his hands and left him aching, he still loves the thankless son enough to banish the cold from the home with his love. Hayden uses his closing sentence like the numbing cold, seeping slowly into our hearts, betraying our love until it's too late. The fact that the father is never thanked tells us the son is either too young to know or too malicious to care the same way for the father.
I'd wake and hear the cold splintering breaking. When the rooms were warm, he'd call, and slowly I would rise and dress, feeling the chronic angers of that house. In the first line, I would circle splintering. Splintering means to split or break apart. Then I would circle chronic. Chronic means to be constant or habitual. I'd wake and hear the cold splintering breaking. In this line, it means that the boy would wake up early too, because he could hear the fire being made and how the coldness would start going away, but he wouldn't get up yet. When the rooms were warm, he'd call. When the rooms were warm, the dad would call for his son to get up. And slowly, I would rise and dress. The boy would already be up, but not get ready until his father calls for him once the rooms are warm, fearing the chronic angers of that house. The boy fears the chronic angers of the home, which the cold symbolizes. Overall, in this stanza, his father is good to him and does many things for him. His father works hard to keep his son happy and healthy. He sacrifices himself just to help his son. He shows that he cares much for him, but the son doesn't appreciate him yet.
Okay. Speaking indifferently to him who had driven out the cold and polished my good shoes as well. What did I know? What did I know of love's austere and lonely offices? Speaking indifferently, okay. I'm going to circle differently. In this, okay. Speaking indifferently, which means having no particular interest or sympathy or unconcerned. Okay. Speaking indifferently to him. So he's talking to his father, who had driven out the cold, which could have been his wife, because they are always arguing, who had driven out the cold and polished my good shoes as well. And polish means to renew or freshen up, maybe the son and the father's relationship, because when the parents, they're probably divorced or something, so the son, I believe the kid wasn't grateful for what his father was doing for him. For example, in the second paragraph, when the rooms were warm, he'd call and slowly I would rise. So the kid doesn't really realize what his father is doing for him, and he's minding his own business, putting on his clothes, and no one ever thanked him. Quote. Okay. So, okay. What did I know? What did I know of love's austere and lonely offices? I'm going to circle austere because I don't understand that word. Okay, it means severe, so what did I know? What did I know of love's severe and lonely offices? Remember, this is a question, and he's talking to himself, so he's probably asking this because his father is taking care of him since he was a boy, and now that he's all grown up and on his own, he's lonely. In our group, we kind of figured that he now works in an office and he feels lonely because he's boxed in, he has to do work. Unlike his father, who thought of his family and took care of them, and now the son is looking back and probably regretting that he didn't thank him for what he's done for him and his family. So, yeah. Thank you.
Those Winter Sundays plays with many themes: unspoken and unappreciated love, father-son relationships, and the rifts and voids created by family members leaving or lacking in a family. Oh, the main theme of Those Winter Sundays is unspoken and appreciated love. In the end, thank you, yeah.